So what I'm going to talk about today is this little setup right here. This is a drop RDA on top of a Sebone by Steel Vapes mech mod. I actually had to take the drip tip off of a dead rabbit and put it on here because it's the closest thing I had to match. But when I was trying to get the original atomizer that came with this mechanical mod off, I used a screwdriver, stuck it between the posts, and consequently broke the post. So I had to throw that one away, thus having a drop on top. Honestly, it vapes pretty damn good. I'll show you the build I have in here. See that? It's a single Clapton coil, ohms out at about 2.25. I couldn't get a dual coil to get the ohms that I wanted, so I just went with a single, but I mean, it still hits pretty good. Honestly, talking about the drop, I really like the airflow. I also have another mech mod that I can't remember the name of right now, but it's got completely open airflow just because it's supposed to be a trigger mod, and I love it. I just need to get some 0 milligrams so I don't give myself nicotine poisoning when I'm trying to do O's. I'm gonna see if I can do a little up close of this guy. It might be tricky, we'll find out. Okay, somehow I got my tripod to cooperate, and this is what we've got going on here. I'm trying to make sure you can see this whole thing in shot. Alright, sweet. Alright, so what I've got inside, it's got a really smooth button on the bottom. Pretty much just don't put too much pressure on it and tighten it too far, because otherwise you're gonna have to take this guy and stick something plastic in it to get it undone. This is the bottom button for the Sebone by Steel Vapes. It's got these little vent holes right here, and it's actually got a cutout right there where it can go straight through just in case your battery vents, which goodness knows we don't want that to happen. It's got a spring loaded. I'm not going to take this apart because goodness knows I will not be able to get it back together, but it's got this nice little grippy O-ring right there, and I do have to say it has a little bit of battery rattle, but not too much. What I've got inside is one of the new LG HD2Cs. It's a 25 amp limit battery with 2100 milliamp. Let's see, up inside, you can see it, we've got this little plastic dude hanging out just for a little extra safety measure on the inside of the brass tube. And this is brass. It is painted and carved into with all these little dragon scale guys right here. Fish scales, dragon scales, whatever. I call them dragon scales. It is a hybrid top cap. Pretty much be super safe with this. Make sure it is a protruding 510 right there, just like this drop has. It works absolutely great. Totally just got juice all over my fingers because of course I dropped inside of this before I decided to show it to you guys. Give me 1 second. Alright, so this is, I believe it's a 810 compatible. That is a dead rabbit drip tip right there. Right inside, get a nice little, mine's pretty stiff because this is actually a fairly new atomizer for me, but you just take this top part, twist it, off you go, and once again, that is my single coil build sitting on the inside. I actually really like the post too. I like that it's kind of similar to the post on the Drop Dead, just because it goes underneath it and you just kind of trim it off and there you go. You probably can't see it, but I didn't trim mine quite as far as I needed to. But that is the uppy-closey of my little Sebone mech mod. And we're back. I realized I said uppy-closey, kind of like some other YouTubers do, but hey, whatever, it works. So point being, I actually really like, this is like an $80 setup. It's literally, I think you can find the Sebone mech mod for $40 online. I've really only found it one place, and it ships from China. It took me about 2 months to actually get it in the mail. I mean, I'm not saying it's not worth it, it's just be patient if you decide to order one, unless you can find it somewhere else that's a lot closer than China. I mean, I picked up the drop for like 40 bucks, and then the drip tip, you can use whatever you want on it. It came with, I think, a clear one and kind of like a Delrin color. I guess, not Delrin, what is it? It's like that clear yellow plastic kind of thing. It's kind of nasty looking. So I just decided to make it matchy-matchy, but I mean, you do have to drip in it, obviously. Probably about 3 or 4 hits and I'll have to re-drip it. But for a single coil in like a mech mod, it hits fantastic. Doesn't get too hot. It's a little bit warm, but I mean, what vape doesn't, so. But I mean, that was my little overview of little $80 setup mech mod that I got. So, till next time.